And welcome back, Desk Poppers, to the greatest show on earth.
I'm joined with Angel and Daniel.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to be doing a non-spoiler and spoiler review of The Flash. And we're also going to handle the topic.
Should James Gunn abandon the Snyderverse?
Yeah, but before we get into that, let's grade it.
All right, so it might be a little bit of a hot take, and I feel like I'm going to get crucified
I
for
can't
this.
tell where this is going. I love it.
B+. B+. I really like the movie.
I am also going to give it a B+.
I'm going to give it a B.
B?
Yeah, I enjoyed the movie.
Okay, I was going to say, we all enjoyed the movie?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
enjoyable.
The Flash is good.
No, it is. It's B.
good.
Yeah, no, it's great.
I mean,
Which is
we'll
good.
talk about all the things because there's
I think
things
there's
going
so
on.
many things to talk about in this movie.
There's a lot of things going on Twitter, online, people about the abusement of Ezra Miller and how he wasn't in the press conference and everything. And
He made one appearance, correct?
you remember the plan? We talked about this in a previous video, like back in the day, one of our first videos where we went over the options, what they should do, and I guess they settled on no press for Ezra Miller, and they just released the movie.
Yeah. So I was just looking at the numbers before I came in. As of this recording, the movie is at $24.4 million.
Yes, it's projected to make $60 to $70 million for the 3-day weekend.
Yep.
And it beat Shazam. Shazam made like $30 million.
Yeah. So Thursday night, The Flash made $9 million.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all though. I have Shazam 2 above the Flash. I really enjoyed Shazam.
I did too.
I think I don't know where you guys rank Shazam, but that tells you that, like, I guess money isn't everything. Like, money doesn't really talk. I think
Yes.
Shazam was just poorly marketed, but I also think The Flash deserves more money as well.
I went Thursday at 4 o'clock to watch the movie, and it was empty. So I can't really base it off of that because it is kind of middle of the day. People are getting off of work.
I went at 10 p.m. on Friday.
And how was that?
There was at least 20 other people in there.
20?
And were you in one of those bigger theaters or the smaller ones?
The IMAX the regular?
No, the big ass IMAX one up in there.
Okay.
So I went at 3 o'clock, like an hour before you. It was packed. It was pretty packed at the
Really?
Orchard. Yeah, it was.
Wow.
I was like, why is everybody like? I was like, do we not got jobs? Like, what is happening right now? You know? No, it was great. I do want to talk about the MVP. I am gonna give it to probably controversial Ezra Miller playing 3 different characters. And the way he did it seamlessly, I honestly sometimes forgot that he was the same person. You know, if that makes sense. On the theater, I'm giving it to Ezra Miller as Barry Allen.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say Bart, but I'm like, I don't think he's Bart.
Bart is the grandson.
Yeah, it's
He's
a
in
grandson.
Young Justice.
He's Impulse.
Yep.
I know my fucking comics, people. Don't come for me in the comments below.
I'm going to agree with you. I liked Ezra Miller. I've always been a fan of Ezra Miller as the Flash. I think he fits the character very well, even from the Snyderverse era.
I am also going to go with Ezra Miller.
Okay, wow.
I'm going to go with Barry number 2.
Barry number 2, the 18-year-old?
The 18-year-old?
The 18-year-old Barry.
Well, I think this is the first where we all had the same, no? Or have we ever had the same?
Probably the first this
Yeah,
year.
I think it's the first time we're all
In agreement.
in agreement so
Man.
far with grades and MVP.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I
And the
couldn't-
Flash of all movies.
I mean, I will say I couldn't give it a B plus because no, it's just hard because the biggest issue on Twitter right now is the CGI, right?
Yes.
I also had a little problem with that.
So the worst CGI, the worst effects, I think, was in the scene where he's saving all the babies from the hospital.
Oh, that was pretty bad. But
That one was pretty bad. That one was the worst. And I
I
don't
feel
know.
like you're not going to get any better than that, though.
well, I was gonna say, for me, the worst is in the Chroma Bowl. I don't want to spoil too much. I'll talk about CGI more in the spoiler, but I did want to bring up one topic. The reason why it's a B and not like lower is because I'm sure there's people out there that have CGI higher, but for me, if the story is like great and everything else is great, I'm okay with the CGI not being there. You know,
Yes.
the same
Yeah, me
reason
too.
why I love Black Panther, the first one. Yeah, that last fight was like the CGI was bad, but the whole story in the whole todavía se entiende, you know.
Yes,
And para
yes.
mí, si todavía se entiende, for the people that don't speak Spanish, it's still understandable. You
Yes.
still understand what's happening,
You
even even if the animation's off, you know.
Yes,
So
yeah.
for me, see, I don't put CGI on a high pedestal. Now, for it to be a great movie, yeah, obviously that's not why it's an A or an A plus or whatever. But I'm giving it a B because, dude, they did such a great job of explaining everything. Every single thing had an explanation of how it worked, how the time travel worked, how the multiverse worked. Even the small things where like he needed food to like do things, and if he didn't have food, his powers kind of waned a little bit.
Yes.
Every single little
that's
thing.
a nice
had
little
it.
hint because,
Yeah.
like, you know, we know he has a crazy accelerated metabolism. So he's just always munching.
He's
And-
always eating.
that's why I think it's a great movie.
Do you like the way that they portrayed his running in this movie versus the Zack Snyder movies. When he runs fast, it's just kind of like a blur. You know, like he goes there and back. And in these movies, it was more of a slow motion, and you saw him with the motions going through it.
Yeah.
That's also why I gave it a B. I'm gonna say that I hated the running, the running, him getting ready to run.
I didn't like the little pose.
Like his form.
Yeah, too goofy to me.
To like start running, I'm like that was goofy, and
that's something that carried over from the Snyder films because he did that in those movies too. So I thought he was gonna change it up for his solo movie.
Look, bro, if I had to rank my like the way that they portray speed in movies, I'd probably put Eternals, X-Men.
Eternals is the best one.
Quicksilver.
Yes.
And then probably, I don't know, I can't, like maybe Quicksilver in the MCU, but I will say that this is the lowest, like this looked really bad. Even The Flash, I feel like in the TV show does a better job at portraying running.
Oh, 100%.
Yes. Yeah, the show does a better job. Black Adam is at the bottom, just so everyone knows. Because apparently he's that fast.
I felt like they also portrayed it here in that sense that the one good thing about the way they portrayed the speed was that even though he was like stopping time, everything else was still moving. Even if it was really, really slow, you still saw particles and everything moving. Yeah. So that lets you know that, he's not stopping time. He's just moving.
He's just moving
really fast.
Yeah.
How fast? I don't know. I mean, I really do hate the way that a lot of shows portray the speed.
There was a couple reasons that made this movie a B+ for me instead of an A, and I'll get into those when we get into the spoilers. But I wanted to bring up the pacing of the movie. What did you guys think about that? It was a 2.5 hour long movie, 2 hours and 20 minutes.
I didn't feel it.
I didn't feel it either.
I want to say I didn't feel the 2 hours because by the time it ended, that's when I texted Adolfo about there being
end credit
scene. It felt good. Like I was still like I went late as fuck, and I went after work.
That's why I thought he was gonna be tired. Honestly, like I feel like sometimes the way we go into these movies also affect the grade. Like if we go like
it affects our mood and everything. Yeah, because I usually do go like right after work.
Yeah, I tend to go pretty late after 8 as well.
Because I went right after the parade. Like we went to the parade, we grabbed something to eat, and then I like took a 20-minute nap in his parking lot. I don't know if you saw him. Yeah. It was like 20 minutes before. Like I had 20 minutes to spare, So I was like, I was tired. So I took a nap, went to the movies, and let me tell you, I was falling asleep. Pero that did not affect the movie. It did feel long, and that's why it felt long for me because I was tired. But apart from that, the pacing
I feel
was
like
alright.
the pacing and the way the story went well together.
Yeah,
I didn't feel lost or anything.
I never felt lost, and I never felt like there was parts that were dragging.
They did a good job of something that happened at the end was a callback to something that happened in the middle. That was a callback that had something that happened in the beginning.
So we already kind of brought this up, but I want to bring it up again real quick. What do you think this movie's going to make as far as box office numbers go globally?
Oh my God, dude, I feel bad. I think it's not even going to reach 3. Oh, okay. Now, 200 domestic. That's going to be hard to reach. Globally, maybe 400, bro.
I was going to say 450 globally.
550, 600.
Really?
That's very
a lot. I think at this point, Ezra has dug his grave so bad that people just aren't gonna watch the movie because of what he's done.
Yeah, the comments on this is one of the comments
because on Twitter a lot of people are like counting out the movie before even watching it.
Here, I'm gonna give you guys I post videos of The Flash, and one of the comments was, "I'll ruin the ending for everyone. He grooms kids." So you can tell that people who don't like Ezra are already judging the film. And look, I get it, bro. But at this point, if you have this energy with Ezra, have this energy with everybody else.
Amber Heard.
Yeah, keep the same energy.
I was going to say Jonathan Majors.
So here's the Rotten Tomato numbers for you guys.
Oh, I know them by heart. Go ahead.
Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 67%.
Critics.
The audience has given it an 86%. So people like the movie.
Yeah,
people love the movie.
The few people who have gone to watch the movie so far have liked the movie.
No, I agree. They should like the movie. I think even the critics enjoy the movie.
It's just fresh.
But everybody on Twitter is roasting the movie. Either you have an agenda, which is fine if you do. I don't give a shit. Like
biggest haters.
Yeah, but you can hate. But it is an enjoyable movie. I just don't think it's gonna make enough money to where James Gunn is gonna be like, oh, I want to keep Ezra
Miller.
Yeah, and we can get into that in the with the spoilers because there is a lot of unanswered questions.
So we will bring back the should James Gunn abandon the Snyderverse. We're gonna have an answer for you guys later in the video. Yep. Don't think we abandoned it the way that James Gunn is gonna abandon the Snyderverse. And the sponsor of today's video, not really the sponsor, don't come for us, YouTube, is the Denver Nuggets, baby. We had the greatest past 2 months postseason. It was amazing. Let me tell you guys, I just want to bring that up just because, you know, after 47 long years and 20 some of my lifetime of waiting, of a lot of heartbreak.
You're closer to 30.
I know. But I didn't become a fan right out of the womb, you know. It took me a while to
get there.
Yeah, to be a fan, you know. As you guys can see, I'm repping my boy Jamal Murray. We got a sign from the parade.
I also wanted to give a shout out to you guys. This is our 100th video, so thank you so much for that. We've got our 1 year anniversary coming up. Thank you so much for 100 videos. We really appreciate all the support, all the feedback. All right, guys, that brings us to the
spoiler zone.
Spoiler zone, guys. I don't want to hear any complaining down below in the comments because the movie's been out for a week, so I don't know what to tell you guys. But I saw a lot on Twitter. I saw a lot on Reddit. I saw a lot everywhere. Is the color of the lightning. So in this,
it's blue?
In the Snyder films, it's blue. This movie, it's
like yellowish.
Like his classic like yellowish.
The lightning. So I thought you were talking about the lightning that hits him, that gives him his powers.
No, it's the running. It's the running lightning.
The lightning that he
generates.
People are saying, you know, that it doesn't matter. A lot of people are saying that it's just a whole different berry to begin with. That it's not the same berry from the. Well,
I guess technically it would be the same berry, but they're changing it up, so it doesn't really matter. They brought back the blue with the 18-year-old berry.
They did. So I don't know if they did that because they different. I don't know.
Or it's just a younger berry.
It's just a younger berry.
The blue is supposed to symbolize
like his beginning.
The beginning.
So I guess
yellow is like him more.
I was reading into it. I guess the blue is he's used both colors in the comics. Mm-hmm. When he uses the blue lightning, it's supposed to symbolize that he's a lot faster and more connected to the speed force.
I was gonna say, bro, because usually blue, like fire, means it's hotter, and yellow means it's like not as
same
hot.
reason as shout out Avatar, one of my favorite animated shows of all time. Azula is a firebender, and her fire is blue because it burns hotter than her brothers.
I don't know, that purple from berry number 3.
That goes hard.
So,
dude, when that happened, okay, I do want to talk about. Oh my god, there's so much to talk about. When he first came out, I did not guess a twist, right? Not up until the moment that they went back into the Chrono Ball.
Yeah,
I saw it from the very beginning. I was like, that's Avatar.
I thought it was
Avatar.
That's his name.
Avatar?
Savitar.
It's Dark Flash.
Savitar.
I thought you were saying Avatar.
No.
Yeah, I thought that was. I thought it was Dark Flash.
I thought it was like the show. He has that.
It's Dark Flash.
No,
I don't know.
No,
I
Savitar.
keep saying it's Avatar.
No, I know, but you know how it's a different dude in the show.
So
no, it's Barry. What's his name? Something Augustus Gloop? Gustin Grapp? No, what's his name?
Grant Gustin.
Grant was just Grant.
What the fuck are you?
No, he has a dark side of himself too.
No, I know, but I thought I was gonna like the guy that killed, because you know in the show the person that kills his parents is.
Oh my god, let's talk about that, bro. Okay, there's so much to talk about.
Because that Flash, I forget his name, but
no,
I thought
Zoom.
Yeah,
Reverse Flash. I know who that is, motherfucker.
That's Savitar, who was in this movie. Which, if you guys saw the Flash show, he's a villain in season 3, and it's the exact same
plot
where it's he just keeps running back in time, and he just eventually gets caught in the loop.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you guys though, are you guys mad that they changed the whole Flashpoint, like story wise?
It would have been nice to see the animated one in live action because the Flashpoint animated movie is great. So for anyone who doesn't know, he goes back in time and saves his mom. But when he goes back to his reality, his universe, everything changed. Bruce Wayne was the one who died. So Thomas Wayne was the one who became Batman. His mom was the one who became Joker.
And I think that's what I miss from that Flashpoint, though, is the characters like Cyborg, Aquaman, the fight between Aquaman and Wonder Woman. I really did miss that. I'm not as mad, though, because I do feel like sometimes, like the way Civil War was its own story from the comics.
Yes.
As a movie, you just have to create your own story. Like, I'm okay with that. Yeah, did we miss out on Thomas Wayne? I think that's the thing that sucks the most.
Yeah.
Was missing out on Thomas Wayne. I think also what sucks the most is that they didn't use the Reverse Flash for anything.
Yes.
For not even the origin story of him killing. Maybe they'll bring retcon that in the future and he's the one that actually killed his mom.
Yeah.
But also, if he was the one that killed his mom, I don't think you grabbing the sauce would have changed that,
Yes.
Unless he just didn't want to kill the mom in front of the dad.
Do you think Reverse Flash should have been his first villain?
No, because he's a big villain. I'm okay with the first villain not being your main villain. Like other shows where like Red Skull, other movies, Iron fucking Giant. Oh, what's his name?
Ironmonger.
The Ironmonger.
Iron Giant.
Who else? Yeah, the Iron Giant. No, I'm just bad with names. Who else? Ant-Man. No, Ant-Man, I guess didn't have his...
He had Yellow Jacket, which is one of his more popular ones, but I wouldn't say his main. But I'm okay with Savitar being the villain in this movie.
Yes, because Ezra Miller playing all three characters, I'm telling y'all, he did a great job. He's up there with Oscar Isaac playing the same character. He's up there with Paul Rudd in that one Netflix show. I don't know what's Netflix. He's up there with one of the
Tom
best.
Hardy playing the twins.
Yes, look, he's up there with it. Like he did a great job. They even explained why the 18-year-old was immature and the way he was acting.
Yes.
Right, the whole movie just had explanation after explanation, and it felt like okay, I'm like they're not making me feel dumb. They're
going through everything.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but the way Bruce explained time travel made more sense than the way they explained it in Endgame for
I
me.
was gonna bring it up. I took a note.
Okay, go ahead.
You know, because in Marvel's multiverse,
Yes, sir.
the way they talk about it in the DC is how one branches off and creates a new line.
Yes.
Well, in the DC one, they all intermingle at one point.
Yes.
They don't all create one separate.
And this is what I was talking
alternate
about
reality.
in the beginning.
What did they call them? Like cross points,
Yeah,
right?
cross points. They creates a cross point, which I made my little diagram for.
Which is like a canon event, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
pretty much a canon event. Yeah.
You made a note about the multiverse, and
Yeah.
I think they explained it better than Endgame.
And a great
I
drawing
did,
too.
and I made it look like spaghetti. I did like this version of their multiverse than the Marvels.
It just made more sense the way they explained it.
It just shows that how even if you do create an altered reality or go into a different dimension, they all at one point connect.
Well, I did love that they brought up the tomato sauce and the spaghetti so many times. It just was a nod like from the beginning where the mom was trying to get by sauce and that was the reason she died, to the Batman Michael Keaton explaining the multiverse using spaghetti and all that, and then at the very end when the spaghetti saves his dad and all that, it was a great callback just throughout the whole movie. I thought that was really smart.
So speaking of multiverses, towards the end of the movie, we see that Flash has gone back in time too much to where we see these universes colliding on each other, which we see some great, cameos.
All of that.
Are we going to talk about all the Easter eggs right now?
No. Well, we can bring those up here in a bit. But I wanted to bring up one that we didn't see that wasn't really an Easter egg, but I want to ask you guys about. Would you guys have liked to see Grant Gustin's Flash in one of those worlds?
In one of the worlds. It would have been nice to...
I'm not saying he had to be in the movie to interact. You could have seen him in just his world, kind of looking up and seeing.
It could have been like the one with the older timey version with the dude with the...
Jay Garrick?
Yeah, the World War...
The Golden Age of Flash?
Yeah. It would have been nice to see like that version of it.
The only reason I ask that is because in The Flash, the show, Ezra Miller's in it. His Flash makes an appearance in one of the episodes.
No, he does, but I feel like, the TV show needs it, right? The TV show needs Ezra to come down because that'll make the episode even better, getting somebody from a movie. But I don't think the Flash movie needed Grant Gustin.
And that's what I'm saying. It wouldn't have needed him, but just even like like an Easter egg off to the side.
I don't know.
Like how we saw in the Spider-Man movies where we saw even the Insomniac Spider-Man they threw in.
Yeah, I feel like they were making more nods to the movies than they were to the TV shows.
I was
except
gonna
for
say
Adam West, but
the throwbacks of all the characters
in the movies. I like the cameos that we got. Pretty much to explain it for the people that don't know, the interpretation that the Flash used, I didn't really like, but it's different from the MCU's, was the Chromo Bowl, where he goes into the Speed Force and the way that he travels back in time is he just runs, and then it's like this big auditorium where it just keeps changing events, and then he goes to an event that he wants.
He just rewinds until he gets to
which like in the MCU they just go into the quantum realm and they just fly through.
Ezra Miller, the older one, is talking to Bruce Wayne. He says, that was the second time I've ran back in time. But in the Zack Snyder Justice League,
he ran back in time.
He says that he runs back in time and he says, I've only ever done this once before, which would make this movie the third time he ran back.
Yeah, dude, I was also confused with that because I heard him say that and I was like, what, didn't you do that in Justice League?
Yeah.
So I was really confused about that whole situation. I don't know. Like I said, it's just a plot hole. Like I'm like, a little ding off the grave. Like ding. I did love Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage as Superman?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a
because he's
callback.
always been rumored as Superman.
Playing Superman?
Well, not always. always, but yeah,
For a
like back
long
in the day.
time.
Yeah, there was even a picture of him like testing out with the suit.
Yeah.
The suit, yeah.
Yeah.
He is like the DC version of John Krasinski as Reed Richards.
Yeah. You know
Throw
what
in.
sucked? Because I remember seeing one of the comments that they spoiled a lot of it in the trailers. A lot of
I don't think they did.
No, well, they did. They spoiled the director spoiled it. in
Oh,
an
the
interview.
director did, but not in the trailers.
No, but in the trailers they spoiled a lot too.
Yeah.
I was rewatching the trailer because I have
Oh.
to do it for the edits, bro. The amount that they spoil, I'm like, I'm so happy I don't watch these trailers because
Talking about that real quick, the Dune trailer, Dune Part 2, they spoiled a lot.
Did they? Oh,
I feel like they did.
that's why I closed my eyes.
But then again, I mean, the movie's gonna be like really long.
So I want to bring up something that we haven't even touched base on at all.
It's a lot.
How did you guys like Supergirl, Sasha Cale?
I thought her Supergirl was a great iteration.
That like kept the same from the Flashpoint movie, where she lands on Earth, but instead of landing in Kansas, she gets captured by the government,
By the Russians.
Yeah.
by the
by the
Russians.
Russians.
So we never hear about a Superman.
Yeah, that was a cool switch. I didn't mind the
Yeah.
switch. So we've talked about this a lot. There's a lot of Batmans in the DCU, in the DC universe, in the DC cinematic fucking movies. So in
It
this
just
movie
tripled.
alone,
In this movie alone, it
there was
tripled.
three different people playing Batman.
Batman. Yeah.
And do you think it's confusing now for the
Well, I
audience?
guess it's 3 different people playing
So
Bruce Wayne.
go ahead and list them off for our viewers. Our 3 Batmans that we see.
Ben Affleck, Michael Keaton, and at the end we get George Clooney.
I don't know how I feel about. I've never seen the George Clooney ones. I've seen the Michael Keaton ones.
I never saw Michael Keaton either.
I think they're old movies and they're cheesy.
George
Like,
Clooney was an actual Batman.
Yeah.
Way back when?
1998.
he was
remember.
the
worst.
Batman before Christian Bale.
He was the worst Batman.
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Quote
just-
I'm gonna
unquote
go
worst
back and
Batman.
rewatch the movies because I haven't
Yeah.
seen them in like.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I need to watch all these Batman movies.
Dude, do you think that's confusing? Like we were talking about, it's confusing that there's already 3 Batmans. Now there's 4 official Batmans that we've seen on screen.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, this one makes a little bit more sense since it's bringing in the multiverse.
So do you think-
they're not all having their separate story?
So do you think this was pretty much DC trying to teach the audience that it's okay that there's more than one Batman? That's what it felt like to me.
In a way, because it would have. I feel like it would have taught them more if we saw them interacting with each other.
Yeah.
Where if Michael Keaton's Batman crossed into Ben Affleck's Batman's universe, then the 2 Batman talking to each other. Because I don't know if you know, but they do that in Justice League Unlimited in the animated show. The Justice League's Batman goes into the Justice Lord's Batman's universe, and he goes, "Wow, your Gotham is a lot cleaner than mine. Like there's no crime here."
Yeah.
But they interact with each other, and they wear different suits, opposite colors. So they did a good job in the show. Obviously, that show's one of the greatest animated shows.
Yeah. No, obviously. Obvious.
But it would have been nice to see them interacting with each other because I feel like people are visual learners where they have to see it to understand it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think DC did a great job of showing that it's okay to have multiple Batmans. Should James Gunn abandon the Snyderverse? Just yes or no, real quick.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
No?
I
No,
will
yeah.
say
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
should.
yeah,
I will
yeah.
say they should keep Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman.
No, dude. There's already rumors going around that Gal Gadot had a scene at the end, and they cut it with her and Henry Cavill because they didn't
Son
want
of a
to.
bitch.
Yeah, they didn't want to confuse the audience and
Yeah.
make a false promise that they were going to be in future movies.
We'll cut to the end real quick. He goes back to his universe. He thinks everything's all good and dandy. And like we said, he's on the phone with Bruce Wayne. Turns out his Bruce Wayne is not the Ben Affleck that he saw at the
Or
beginning.
Michael Keaton.
Or Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
It is now George Clooney. So obviously changing that tomato can.
I like how they threw us out with them being in the same car, driving the same car.
Yes. Yeah. Same car and everything.
Yeah.
So now he even looks at him. He's like, "Who are you?" And
Yeah.
he realizes like,
No,
oh,
yeah, he was like, "You're not Batman," and George
And
Clooney
obviously
was like,
Bruce
"Nah,
Wayne-
here, kid."
Yeah. He's like, "Yeah, I'm
We'll
not
bring that
Batman."
up. What are we doing? What are we doing?
James Gunn this week said that Blue Beetle is the first DC character.
Yes, and that Superman is going to be the first DCU movie.
Yep. And do you think we're
What?
just gonna?
Go over. What was that? Go again.
So,
So-
okay, go ahead. Yeah.
James Gunn
Yeah.
said that Blue Beetle is gonna be the first DC character.
DCU character.
DCU
I don't know why
character.
he keeps not.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that Superman's going to be the first DCU movie.
Oh.
So what
okay.
he's trying to say is that Superman's going to be the first movie made by DCU
Yes,
studios,
yes.
but that Blue Beetle's going to be the first DCU character shown on the on the big screen.
Yeah.
Oh, like
So what does that?
okay.
Where does that leave the Blue Beetle movie?
No, where does it leave the Flash, bro?
I think the Flash is gonna be just
Recast.
recast, shoved,
I think
swept
they're just
under
gonna-
the rug.
They're gonna use it. Be like, oh, well, your universe.
Ezra Miller's down. Oh,
Yeah,
man, that
I think
sucks.
they're just gonna sweep the Flash under the rug. They're gonna be like, "Hey, we got the movie out. People liked it. You're welcome."
It has to make a lot of money for the Flash to come back,
Yeah.
and it's not gonna do it. It's
Yeah,
already
so I
looking
think
bad.
that's what they're gonna do. But yeah, where does that leave Blue Beetle? Like, we're excited for Blue Beetle because we love Cholo. Right?
Definitely excited for it.
So Superman's gonna be the first DCU movie.
Yes.
Blue Beetle's the first DCU character. So where does that leave the DCU movie for Blue Beetle?
DCEU or the
Where does that
Where
leave,
does
the
it leave
Blue
the
Beetle?
movie?
Yes.
it's gonna be part of the DCU.
Okay.
It'll be, yeah.
But James Gunn is just saying that he doesn't want to put his name on the movie because it was made before he came
Before
on.
he came on.
But he wants to. He's trying to say that Blue Beetle is definitely going to be in the DCU.
Because he confused a lot of people on Twitter saying, is that just a solo movie, another
No.
solo
Yeah,
universe?
I
I'm
do
like,
agree.
no.
He should have explained it like that. That right there.
Yeah, the way Adolfo explained
that
it
made sense. Right there.
explained it a lot better than James Gunn. So James Gunn, if you're hearing this, can be your special advisors. Maybe not Daniel, but all right, guys. Well, that is our review for The Flash, starring Ezra Miller, and we beg the question: should James Gunn abandon the Snyderverse?
Let us know what you think in the comments down below.
Yep. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.
Adios.